Quality, service, atmosphere. You're next in the chair. Feel at home in the Barbershop. G. Bush offers a fresh cut on sports. The Barbershop isn't just grooming for guys. It's culture, it's lifestyle, it's sports. And it's now the Barbershop is giving the sports scene a sheer shave and shine. Join the makeover now. Follow Garrett Bush at GBush91 on Twitter.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy G. Bush again, back with you another Cleveland Browns football Super Bowl Browns blog. Man, you already know what it is. Y'all ain't seen me in a while, but you don't even got to worry about that, man. You know who bringing you the best Browns topics in the game. You knew who was rocking with the Browns before they got OBJ, before they got Vernon, before they got Sheldon Richardson, before they got Kareem Hunt, before the national media was telling you that Baker Mayfield was the king of the North, a.k.a. Jon Snow, a.k.a. the sixth guy, a.k.a. the gunslinger from Oklahoma. You told you who was giving you blog after blog, recap after recap, breaking all of that situation down before they had all these cats. It was this dude repping this logo. Shout out to the logo, though. But by the way, that's so fresh. By the way, that's fresh too, man. You know what it is. It's your boy, G. Bush, man. And we going to go ahead and get right into it. Matter of fact, stop playing games. Let's go right away. Right now, I want to give y'all the brick and mortar of what we're going to lay down for the first part of this season. What we're going to tell everybody what y'all need to be getting in your mind state and what's going to happen before it all transpires during the season. And this blog is going to be called The Illusion of Action. And you say, once again, man, you've been going all this time and you come back with these analogies and all these riddles and stuff, G. Bush. What are you talking about? Illusion of action? Let's go ahead and get right into what I'm talking about. The illusion of action is just by stating that the people of Cleveland need to understand that we're just jilted lovers. We are just insecure people in relationships. You see, the Cleveland Browns this year are going to be awesome. They're going to be the best team and the best collection of talent that we've ever seen here on the North Coast. They bar none, the greatest collection of talent that has ever been assembled in Cleveland, Ohio to this date. No debating. The national media got to show up at our miserable stadium, so they call it, at First Energy Stadium, when it's 12 degrees outside, and cover our team, cover our great team with Jarvis Landry and Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb and Baker Mayfield and Myles Garrett and Vernon and Greedy Williams and Denzel Smooth, a.k.a. Denzel. Listen, you know what I'm talking about. It's too many names to count. And guess what? It was all fun and games when we had a nice little 7-9 season and 7-9-1 and you know, they're the darlings and the little engine that could. They was giving us our props. But guess what? When you start stepping on toes and start being mentioned with the favorites and Americans teams, and when you start being mentioned with the Cowboys and the Patriots and some of the teams that's perennial powers in this game, you think they're going to like that? You think they want to come up here and talk to us like that? No. They don't want to keep coming up in here giving you problems and giving you hype and showing you all this sort of love. No. So guess what happens? You think it's a coincidence that Colin Cowherd and all of the Stephen A. Smiths of the world and the Jason Whitlocks of the world, you think it's a coincidence that they and the Skip Baylesses and Shannon Sharp, they make up these crazy harebrained scheme stories about Odell Beckham and Baker Mayfield and how he needs to have more poise and the Browns are rookies and what do you think they're going to do? And they got a rookie head coach in Freddie Kitchens. And they make stories up. They purposely slide you these national narrative stories, and they slide them to you just so they see how you, the media in Cleveland, and the fans react. And let's be clear with it. Yes, I do a radio show in Cleveland, Ohio. Yes, I'm part of the media league technically. But let's be clear. You and I, media, we are not the same. I played ball. I done had 12, 13 surgeries. Let's keep it a buck. We ain't the same. I ain't writing on my pen in the pad, doing this, all this other stuff, trying to get hot. I don't care nothing about that. I played the game. I watched the game. I bled for the game. I know the ins and outs of this game. So I ain't part of no media. I ain't sitting up in here prognosticating about stuff I know that don't even really go on. It's just a narrative. And so what they're doing is, you got Odell Beckham Jr., who didn't come to mini camps, voluntarily mini camps. And I see my brethren in the media, oh my gosh, is this a distraction? What are we doing? Odell needs to be here. They need to get some camaraderie. They really need to start working on, he needs to be a leader. He needs to be getting reps. He needs to be showing up. Stop it, man. Stop it. All that is the illusion of action. You think that because you come to a voluntary minicamp, that is going to warm your shoulders and give you confidence that maybe, just maybe, they won't let us down this time. Maybe all the years of the Cleveland Browns being terrible and our number one draft picks being garbage after garbage, pick after pick that's terrible, maybe, just maybe, if he shows up to voluntary mini camps, if there's a letdown, at least I'll have something to make myself sleep easier at night, because I know he showed up to some glorified short practice with undrafted rookies that ain't even gonna make the team. Let me get it clear. You guys have to understand one thing. This team is better than any team you've seen. Bernie Kosar is a good guy. Brian Brennan, great. Hanford Dixon, cool. Webster Slaughter, Langhorne, Biner, Mack. Let's get it serious. They have nothing on paper compared to what this team got right now. Nothing. Have nothing with what's on paper with these dudes right now. And the equivalent of what you're doing is the equivalent of what happens when you are a guy and you ain't never used to getting no girls. You ain't never used to, you was the guy in high school who was always picked on. You was the guy in high school who had low self-esteem. You was the person who thought they was never good enough to get the pretty girl in high school. But lo and behold, you grew up, got a decent job, you didn't have any children early, you started working out, and then all of a sudden you got in your mid-30s and you met a really hot girl. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, to your surprise, she liked you. She chose you. And just because you changed your appearance didn't mean you changed who you was inside. You was still that insecure little kid in high school who didn't believe no girl would ever talk to you and you weren't worth it. So what do? Instead of you being cool and just playing your cards right and being that cool, happy dude that she fell in love with, the dude that she was attracted with, you start doing the illusion of action. You start going around trying to be like, I need to keep her in my life. I need to make sure she doesn't go anywhere. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. When she don't return your calls, you're like, what is she doing? Where's she at? Is she talking to another guy? Maybe I need to be calling her more. Maybe I need to buy her stuff. Maybe I need to be at her house every 10 days. I need to just be there. I need to action myself right into her life. But in reality, all you're doing is action and working yourself right out of her life. Because at the end of the day, you ain't used to having nothing. You don't even believe you worth nothing. And then she comes to you and says, hey, can we talk? I think I need a little space. I think I want to take a break. And you're like, what? Where'd that come from? I'm doing all the right stuff. I'm buying you stuff. I'm in your back pocket 25, 26 hours a day. What are you talking about? Why do you want to break up? And she says, you're not the guy that I met. You're not that cool guy. When I met you, you were different. Now you're clingy. Now you're just emotional. And I thought you were a little different than what you was projecting. You see, Cleveland Browns fans, we're insecure. We ain't never had no free agents. All of a sudden, free agents want to come to our city. Free agents want to come play with Baker Mayfield because we got a franchise QB. People is excited that they want to come to our team, even though we didn't get Gerald McCoy. Guess what? We was on the short list of people that he was willing to come take a visit with. And guess what? Instead of being grateful, instead of being like, yo, we on the uprise, we about to do something, we got the illusion of action. We want to make everybody come to minicamp because we got to make sure, by golly, he's here and he's going to fit in and be ready and do his thing because we need to keep him here. And that's the reason why don't nobody want to come here to start with and didn't want to come here to start with. You was an 0-16 team and a 1-15 team, and you got emotional baggage as part of the media and your fan base. And the media members need to get off their tails and stop writing these stories that has nothing to do with football. You see, for so long, the media members in this town of Cleveland have been the superstars. We've been so terrible that the media members are the stars. Cleveland is the only town in the world where our teams are so terrible that the media members can walk around like they are the king of a hill. And now, it's not so much. Now, you're actually going to have to do your job. Report on facts and report on the game because you're not the center of attraction. Stop writing stories that has nothing to do with what the game is talking about. It's time for y'all to get in your bag, X's and O's, break down the position groups, and actually break some film down. Actually go get some interviews. Actually build some relationships. Hey, maybe, just maybe, do a podcast. Maybe get on YouTube. Get a personality. Be interesting. Because you see, you're making stories up. And the fans that are smart, intelligent, and understand what the game is going through, understand that we was 0-15 and 1-16, and we don't care that Odell Beckham Jr. didn't show up in shorts. He's a top 5 receiver in this league. Undeniable. He's on our squad. Undeniable. And he's going to do his thing. When has he ever not showed up in a game? Never. When has he ever not came up with crazy basket catches? Never. This ain't Hollywood Higgins we talking about. This ain't Brian Brubisky and Heartline we talking about. This ain't Dwayne Bowe. This ain't none of them. This is Odell Beckham. And let me ask you a question. Everybody was showing up to mini camps and everybody was showing up to every voluntary and involuntary meeting, trainings, camp, lunch, dinner. They was doing community service. But guess what? Did it matter? Because we was still getting the brakes beat off of us with Hugh Jackson. 0-16 and 1-15, and we had Boy Scouts of America getting punished. And they was showing up to everything. So pardon me if my talented guys don't come to voluntary workouts just so it can appease the media's and certain people's and the fans' insecurities. Because there's nothing more unattractive than an insecure person. Gosh, it's just so not cool. And especially coming from men. It just don't look good. So instead of trying to work your way out of your insecurities and putting that on the rest of us, please, if you would like to exit this ship before it takes off on the road to the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl, please do so right now. Because this train is rolling up out of here and we ain't got no time to be having crises before the season starts because you're making stories up. It's June. It ain't even got no pads on. And if you know you've been locked in with G. Bush in the Barbershop, feel free to take a look at some of our other videos linked here, and also subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our updated content coming out regularly. Thanks again for listening.